Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a financial milestone that so many people dream about, reaching that first $100,000 in savings or investments. It seems like an impossible mountain to climb, right? But here's a twist. After you reach that elusive $100K, the path to your next $100,000 actually gets a lot easier. Strange, but true. So why does the first $100K feel like a financial marathon? And what changes after you get there? Let's break it down number by number. 1. Compound interest takes time to work its magic. Let's start with the numbers. Compound interest is your best friend in wealth building, but it's a friend that takes time to show up. Imagine you save $10,000 a year with a 7% annual return. By year 1, that $10,000 grows to $10,700. It's nice, but nothing too wild, right? But over 10 years, thanks to compounding, that amount has the potential to grow to over $140,000. The longer you stay invested, the more it works in your favor. But in the early days, compound interest just doesn't feel all that powerful yet. 2. You're starting from scratch. The psychological aspect of starting from zero is huge. When you look at a savings account with maybe a few $100 in it, hitting $100,000 feels light years away. This can make saving feel daunting, leading to a cycle where it's hard to stay motivated. But like any big goal, starting is the hardest part. 3. Lifestyle creep is real. As incomes increase, so do expenses. You might get a raise and think, now I can finally afford that new car or fancy vacation. And while there's nothing wrong with treating yourself, these spending choices slow down your ability to save. Reaching the first $100,000 requires resisting the urge to upgrade everything as you earn more. 4. Financial discipline is a learned skill. Building a healthy relationship with money doesn't happen overnight. Budgeting, tracking expenses, and investing are skills that take time to learn. When starting, it's easy to make mistakes, miss opportunities, or even avoid investing altogether. Over time, though, these skills improve, and so does your ability to save and invest effectively. Strategies to reach your first $100,000 faster. 1. Automate your savings. One of the best ways to make saving less painful is to automate it. Set up automatic transfers from your checking to your savings or investment accounts. The idea is that if you don't see the money in your spending account, you're less likely to miss it. This small change can accelerate your progress. 2. Embrace low-cost index funds. Instead of trying to pick stocks and beat the market, low-cost index funds provide a diversified investment at a lower risk. Over decades, they have a strong track record of growth. With index funds, you're allowing your money to grow in a relatively hands-off manner. And while the returns may seem modest initially, they build momentum over time. 3. Create multiple income streams. Relying on a single income can make reaching $100,000 take even longer. Think about ways to diversify, whether it's freelancing, renting out a room on Airbnb, or investing in dividend stocks. Having additional sources of income speeds up your journey. Studies show that millionaires on average have 7 income streams. So why not start with 2 or 3? 4. Live below your means. This is a classic but crucial point. The less you spend, the more you can save. Create a budget, track your spending, and make it a goal to keep your expenses as low as possible. A popular financial rule, the 50-30-20 rule, suggests 50% of your income for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings. Adjust this to prioritize savings if your goal is hitting that $100,000 mark faster. The shift after the first $100,000. 1. Compounding really starts to show its power. Remember that $10,000 invested at a 7% return? After you hit $100,000, your yearly growth starts looking much more exciting. With a 7% return on $100,000, you're looking at $7,000 of passive growth in a single year without lifting a finger. Now imagine doubling that over time. The more you have invested, the more exponential growth becomes. 2. The snowball effect. Financial growth is similar to a snowball rolling down a hill. The more money you have saved, the faster it grows. For many people, the second $100,000 doesn't feel nearly as hard because your investments start working in the background. You're still adding to your savings, but compound interest is now accelerating your journey. 3. Wealth habits become second nature. By the time you've saved your first $100,000, you've developed habits that make wealth building easier. Saving, investing, and budgeting aren't as daunting. They become a natural part of your routine. These habits and skills stick, meaning it's easier to stay on track for future goals. 4. Increased confidence and knowledge. After reaching your first big goal, your confidence grows. You've proven to yourself that you can achieve financial milestones, making the next one feel more attainable. This mental shift is huge. It fuels motivation and makes you less likely to get discouraged by setbacks. Real-life examples of the power of $100,000. 1. Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, one of the world's wealthiest investors, is a textbook example of the power of compounding. While he started investing at a young age, he didn't become a billionaire until he was over 50. His first $100,000 was hard-earned, but once he reached it, compounding took over and skyrocketed his wealth. 2. Average investor example. Let's look at an average investor who starts with $10,000 and adds $500 monthly, growing at a modest 6% annually. Reaching $100,000 takes around 9 years. But with compounding, the next $100,000 can take less than 5 years. This example shows how the process accelerates, especially if you're consistent with your contributions. Tips to stay motivated on the path to $100,000. 1. Track your progress. Watching your money grow is incredibly motivating. Use apps or financial tracking tools to monitor your investments and savings. Seeing the gradual increase reminds you that progress is happening, even if it's slow at first. 2. Set mini goals along the way. If $100,000 feels like too big of a leap, break it down into smaller goals. Start with $10,000, then aim for $25,000, and so on. Celebrate these milestones as each one represents progress and builds confidence. 3. Keep learning. Financial education is key. Read books, listen to podcasts, and stay informed about personal finance. The more you know, the better you can navigate opportunities and avoid pitfalls on your wealth-building journey. So, while reaching that first $100,000 may feel like an impossible feat, it's a game changer in more ways than one. It builds the habits, mindset, and financial muscle you need to keep climbing. And once you hit that $100K, things start to get a whole lot easier. Compound interest, confidence, and habit building kick in, making the journey smoother and faster from there on out. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments, what's your biggest challenge in reaching your financial goals? And remember, that first $100,000 might feel hard, but it's worth every bit of effort. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.